I was offered unlimited money to be quiet, and I said no. Why? Because I already have money. You can't buy a man who already has money. And that's another thing they're very afraid of. They're afraid of people who are self-financed. That's one of the reasons they're afraid of Trump. He doesn't need your stupid donors. He doesn't need your garbage. He has his own money. And that's another thing you have to be very, very careful of and understand in this war. It's a spiritual war, but it's also a very financial war. They want the conservatives flat broke, because then there's very little we can do. Absolutely. Back to the pod. So this is what we have to do to truly win this war. I believe spiritually, people's minds are awakening and they're starting to understand all the MSM does is lie. Then what we have to do is make sure that everybody who follows us genuinely feels an absolute increase in the living conditions, and they feel more positive, and they feel more disciplined and hardworking, and their real life outside of the internet actually improves. And the third thing is, I believe I have a responsibility to try and make every single person who believes in me and follows me, helping them in every way possible, and one of them is financial. I think that's the way we win this war. I think that when all of the capital is owned by people who are sensible, then it's going to be a lot harder for them to enslave us. And unfortunately, right now, the capital is owned by people who are only interested in control. And when you want to control people, you have to remove their sensibilities. Because if someone has sensibilities, they have parameters. They have limits. If you don't want people with limits, if you're in charge of the world and you want to control everybody, you want to remove their sensibility so they have no limit, so you can tell them some absolute garbage. You can tell them to put a mask on and stay in their house and be afraid of the common cold. That's what you want. So we need to make sure the people with sensibilities are as well funded as possible, are as physically strong as possible, and are as spiritually strong as possible, and are brave. And that's why people like Trump and I and you, we have a duty to God to live by example, to show that you can approach these situations with bravery. You have to be a man about all of this. Otherwise, you may as well just go get in the pod and pray they don't kill you. I believe the people who are in charge of the world are genuinely in charge of the entire world. I believe they set up structures to allow one populace to benefit off the exploitation of another populace. I believe that the populace which is exploited is usually the most ignorant one. And I think that as we awaken and as things shift, and perhaps we don't adhere to the type of life they want us to live, as we become a thorn in their sides, they're going to rewrite the rules. And instead of exploiting other countries for the benefit of the West, they're going to start exploiting the West for the benefit of other countries. And they're simply going to shift their global finance, and they're going to shift their base of operation. They want us to live. As we become a thorn in their sides, they're going to rewrite the rules. And instead of exploiting other countries for the benefit of the West, they're going to start exploiting the West for the benefit of other countries. And they're simply going to shift their global finance, and they're going to shift their base of operations.
Totally agree. Reverse colonialism.
Reverse colonialism. They have no problem watching Africa burn for Europe to get rich. And most people don't understand. They also have no problem watching Europe burn for Africa to get rich. They have no problem flipping the script. They have no problem letting Europe burn. They let it get rich off Africa. Now they'll let Africa get rich off of burning Europe. They have no problem with that. And reverse colonialism, I think, is something that's really going to happen in the next 20 to 30 years. As we wake up, and as we don't want to adhere to their garbage anymore, and as we have higher standards for ourselves, they're going to sit and go, these people think they're smart. Okay, we'll make them the serfs, and we'll just build up our lives somewhere else in Asia or the Middle East. I think the Middle East is going to be the most powerful area for the next 50 to 60 years, personally, is what I believe. But I think that's the pessimistic answer. The positive answer is, ultimately, I do believe we have control. I think the population has control. I think that the closer we get to sensibility and truth and honor is also the closer we get to God. I think that when enough of us band together and resist, it doesn't actually take as many people as you think to inspire the general population to stop adhering to these slave principles. And I do believe that a new age for the West is coming. I think that we are in a much better position than we were 3 or 4 short years ago. But I do also think a lot pins on 2024. So it's very interesting, the situation we're in. It's actually very interesting. Thank you, sir. I super appreciate that. And yeah, absolutely. It's certainly very true. I believe that it's pain that teaches. I don't believe men especially can learn any way besides pain. We talk about learning a lesson the easy way or the hard way. And I'll tell you something. We've all been offered chances to learn a lesson the easy way our entire lives. And guess what? We didn't learn anything, and we kept doing it. You could see it with its natural intrinsic inside of men. You'll see a man drive a car too fast and almost crash 100 times, and he won't learn his lesson until he's crashed that car. We only learn things the hard way. It's only pain that can teach a man. Every single time something bad happens to me, that's how I see it. I see it as God teaching me to make me more wise, more formidable, a more capable opponent, And that's how you have to approach life. Otherwise, how else can I make sense of all the things I've been through? And certainly I don't read very much. I don't study that often. Everything I talk about are just things I've learned from observation. And it's kind of interesting that the world's really not that complicated. The world's only ever been about one thing and always ever will be. It's about power. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a relationship between a man and a woman. It doesn't matter if you're talking about global economic policy. It doesn't matter if you're talking about a war in Ukraine. It doesn't matter what you're talking about. The world's always ever been about power. That's all it's going to be about to the end of human time. And they'll put all these other masks on it. They'll pretend it's about humanity and pretend it's about caring about your race or your nationality or all these other things. But truthfully, at the bottom line of all of it is power. And it's people trying to put together structures where they feel as empowered as possible so they can protect themselves and protect the people they care about. I'm not going to hide the fact that I want our team to have as much power as possible. And the other side, the liars, those who live under the veil of deception, they're only interested in power. It's always been a power struggle since the beginning of time. Then you look at power. How do you get power over people? Well, you influence them. So now it's a battle for influence. Why are they attacking me? Because I have influence. I can influence the populace. They offered me money to sell my soul, and I said, no, I am no longer wanted in this game. I am a wild card that they're not interested in. It's always been about influence. It doesn't matter if you take tanks to a pitched battle in Ukraine and fight a pitched battle, or it doesn't matter if you lie on MSM. It's all the same thing. It's about trying to get influence over people's minds to control how they think, because then you can control how they act, which gives you power. That's the bottom line of how the entire world works. So when you sit here and some politician stands up and says, I care so much about the planet, I think the sun is too hot, stay in your house and give me all your money, it's nothing to do with the sun. It's about power.
Their usefulness.
Well, they're at war against us. What is the primary objective of war? The primary objective of war is to destroy your enemy's capability to resist. That's the only objective. What is war? I must destroy my enemy's capability to resist. It doesn't matter if you do that with a Tomahawk missile. It doesn't matter if you do that with the stroke of a pen and a law. It doesn't matter if you do that with a mainstream media propaganda machine. By destroying your opponent's enemy to resist, your capability to resist, that is how you win a war. So when they're trying to make us depressed and weak and stupid and ignorant and fearful, they are destroying our capability to resist. They are at war against us. They don't need to shoot us with guns. Absolutely, you just nailed it. And if they can control the money, they control the pipeline to shut you off. And once again, what is the primary objective of war? To destroy your enemy's capability to resist. You can't make money, you can't resist. And that's exactly what they're interested in. I don't think most people understand that there are wars happening on every single level against our own populaces and our countries trying to fight other populaces at the exact same time. PSYOP is a war. PSYOP is a war. Laws being passed that prevent you from living a full life is a war. It doesn't matter if it's a bullet or a stroke of a pen. If they destroy your capability to resist, then you are being defeated in a war. That's all war ever is, and life is war. We are fighting a war right now, and there's a war against our minds. They don't want anybody to be rich and brave. Those two things, rich, brave, opinionated. If you're those three things, you're a target for the system. And I really hope when people watch me, what I truly hope is, because we all live different lives and we have different life paths. And I think that the truth is always somewhere in the middle. I'm not saying I'm 100% correct. And I'm not, I do believe my enemies are 100% wrong. However, the truth is always going to be somewhere in the middle, and I like hearing different opinions. I love hearing people who disagree with me, who agree with me with a slightly different caveat, with other points to add. I think my primary objective is to inspire people to stand up and speak and be unapologetic in what they believe, and to make sure they work hard enough in life and go through enough pain so they've learned enough lessons so their opinions are not just waffle, but they're based on real world experiences. And I really hope everyone at home watching this feels better afterwards and understands that we only live once. And on your deathbed, you're going to regret all the things you did not say. I don't think you're going to regret the things you said nearly as much as you're going to regret the things you did not say. And you're also going to regret all the times you did not take the brave choice. If you're not sure what to do, you should take the brave option. And I think on your deathbed, you'll always be glad you were brave. And I have that peace in my heart, even when they throw me in a Romanian jail, that I know I always took the brave choice. I never took the coward's way out. I never took the easy way out, because that hurts your soul. And you're not just a person, you're also a spiritual being, and you need to do things which benefit your spirit. And it's amazing what a spirit of fire and genuine capability gives you. It's something which is tangible. It can be seen, it can be felt, it can be heard. And that's all comes from doing the brave thing. So I think that I hope everybody at home feels energized. I hope they make the brave choice. I hope they believe what they say and say what they believe. And I hope they stand up for themselves. And I think that alone, along with belief in God, is enough to fix many of the problems we're discussing in society today. I will say that it's also a fantastic metaphor for life. I don't think war ever ends. It just changes. It just moves. And if you're a man and you're going through something in your life, you think, everything will be fine once this is over. You'll learn that the war has ended in one place and it started again somewhere else, and that war never ends, and we're in a constant state of war. I sit around with my brother and we talk about, man, when this is over and we finally beat this case, we're going to be so happy. But I think there'll be a new war. I think there'll be a new case or a new problem or a new difficulty or a new struggle or new pain. This is never going to end. So war never ends. It just shifts and just moves. And I think, unfortunately, as Afghanistan ended, somewhere had to be chosen. And it's not necessarily about what's right or what's wrong or what's just. It's just about the fact that it's a very unfortunate reality of this world that sometimes people just die and they don't even really know why. And that's what's happening in Ukraine. That it's a very unfortunate reality of this world that sometimes people just die and they don't even really know why. And that's what's happening in Ukraine. I have the best brother on the planet. And he's the best brother on the planet because we are a team, and we are a truly unbreakable team. And we've always been a team. I can't imagine there's never been a point in our lives we were not a team. We've been a team since the absolute beginning. And 2 brothers are worth 10 men. 2 brothers are worth 10 friends. And that's just how we are as men, and we approach everything together. He has said to me repeatedly, they better not put you in jail without me. My brother was being strong at all times. And that gives you an incredible source of strength. Like, I knew he was being a man, and he knew I was being a man. And it's amazing what groupthink can do. We talked about how destructive it can be in regards to how it can destroy civilization.
But the reverse is even more powerful.
One of the reasons my life's so fantastic and I'm such a high-performing human being is because I live with other competitive men. You are the sum of the 5 people you spend the most time with. If I'm in a group of 5 men and all of them are dropping doing push-ups all the time, am I going to be the only one who doesn't do it? If I'm rolling with people and we're all in constant competition, then you're going to stay a competitive male. So the reason it's easy for me to do push-ups, men for the longest human period of time were in gangs or armies. This is how we've always been. So if my brother, who's bigger than me, drops and starts doing it, well, I'm going to sit there and go, I don't feel like it. So you have to be competitive. This is another thing that actually ties into things we're talking about, where it's actually detrimental when women and men live together completely and exclusively. Women always say this. When women get a real G, they try to attach themselves to you. Don't live with your boys anymore. Live with just me. Come on, we'll be a real couple, blah, blah. And I understand why they want that, because they want to remove you from all the bullshit they're afraid of, right? The girls, the parties, the fun. They want you to completely rely on them so they have power and control over you. But if you live exclusively just with a chick, you are not going to be as competitive as a man.
So it's not smart.
It's not, well, it's going to make her happy. That's fine. But I'm talking about purely emotion out of it logically. You're not going to be as competitive as a man as if you live with your boys who are competitive. If you're training for a fight, you don't live with just your chick, you live with a bunch of men. Trainers, It's done on purpose, right? If you're with your boys and you're all competitive, and it doesn't just have to be physical, you can be competitive with anything. If you live with 5 millionaires and they're telling you every day how much money they're making, you're going to be really pissed off being broke. You're going to be furious.
Yeah.
You ain't going to have it.
100%.
But if you're living with your chick and you're broke, but she cooks for you, she sucks dick good, you watch Netflix, you can get very, very comfortable very, very quickly with very, very little living with a chick. So there's another reason my life is so fantastic, is because if I had a woman, no matter how perfect she would be, I'd be like, look, I live with my brother and my cousin and my team. I live with you sometimes. Yeah, I stay with you sometimes, but I'm with them because I must compete against them. Because competing against them means I automatically compete against the world and I automatically win because I'm living with some of the most competitive people on the planet. We're talking about status and how women love status, but are you going to be a high status man if you're not competitive? No. So you'll get a chick, you'll fall in love with her, you go, this is a really good one, let me move in with her, let me do the right thing. You're going to live with her, and you're slowly, over a matter of time, years, months, whatever, going to fall off. And now there's other dudes out there who are hungry.
That's true, man.
Hey, bro, and then you're going to wonder why everyone's getting divorced. I'll tell you why, because you moved in with that bitch and got a belly, sitting around eating lasagna. That's why.
I will say that.
Well, women want to make your life comfortable. A good woman, all right, bro. A good woman will do what she's supposed to do, which is make your life comfortable, right? She'll cook for you, chill, blah, 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 which is fine. That's what she's supposed to do. She's a good chick. But it's going to make you comfortable. It's going to make you lazy. You are going to lose your competitive edge.
We'll say that, yeah.
So if you're most competitive when you're a man, in fact, this actually can be translated into a bunch of things at large. You can translate this to society as a whole. You can translate this to basic things like fucking crime rates, G. You look at some of these countries in the world now where crime is getting out of control. A lot of it's related to the fact there's military-age men or young men in gangs who can't get no pussy because women are just chasing clout. And you got these young men who can't get no pussy, and they get angry and aggressive, and they're like, well, what can I do about this? I need to matter. Get rich or die trying. So there's like it's all related. Like women are required to a certain degree to soften men. I understand that. And having no women in your life at all will make you dangerous. It'll take it too far. But you can't go too far the other way and just become fucking soft. I think it's the last religion on the planet.
You think it's the right religion?
I think it's the last religion. So if it's the last true religion on the planet, then it has to be the correct one. Because I don't think
How is it the last one?
It's the last religion because no other religion has boundaries which they enforce. If you will tolerate everything, then you stand for nothing. If your book says X, but you refuse to say the book says this, I'm sticking to what the book says. Doesn't matter what the subject is, right? I don't want to get us banned. I think everyone can work it out. If you're a Christian, 99% of Christians are ignoring every single rule inside the Bible. They'll try and say, I interpret it differently. I believe in God, but I don't believe in that part. That's not what the book says. It doesn't say ignore half of me. It says follow me. Only Muslims follow their book.
No, true.
So they're the last religion.
Yeah.
Who gives a shit if Christians come along and say, I'm a Christian, Give a fuck. You ignore the Bible.
Well, isn't there a lot of Muslims that don't follow the Quran too, though?
I'm sure there's a lot of Muslims who don't completely follow the Quran. But I'm saying that if you were to go out there and try and find Muslims who live true to the Quran completely, you can find them.
Yeah.
I'm sure there are, but I'm saying the point he's making is you can find a bunch of women who adhere to Islam who are still virgins to the age of 25 waiting for an arranged marriage.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You will not find that under Christianity.
100%.
Christianity has no power left. It's a power. Even the Pope is up here talking about, and I want to make this very, very clear. I'm not fucking anti anything. I'm not homophobic. I don't give a fuck. I'm talking about what the book says. If the book says man and women lay together, and then the Pope is going to stand up now and say that you can be a gay preacher, the book doesn't mean anything now. So the whole religion doesn't mean anything. So the rules don't mean anything. If you're tolerant of everything, you stand for nothing. The problem is with religion is that it naturally needs to be intolerant. For a religion to be a religion which is respected, it needs to be intolerant of certain things.
Yeah, but
you can't say we're a religion which tolerates everything. Now you have no belief systems.
But when was that book written,
It does, yeah, completely.
But the world evolves. So.
Completely. So Christianity's evolved into nothing. Islam hasn't. This is the point I'm making. The point I'm making is if you're going to throw your own rules away, you can't stand up and say this is a religion, these are our doctrines, but we tolerate everything and we don't punish anyone for anything and none of it really matters. Are you a Christian? Well, who the fuck isn't? Biggest hoe in the world's a Christian. Porn stars are Christians. Who gives a shit? It doesn't mean anything. It's different with Islam. With Islam, you can't get away with it. Even if you're saying that there's some Islam sluts, etc., fine, that's cool. But people don't stand up and openly disrespect Islam.
Oh, hell no.
Because they're afraid. So, once again, if you don't have rule systems and doctrines and beliefs and prophets, which people are afraid to mock, are you even a religion? People won't disrespect Islam. Nobody will disrespect it because they're scared. You can walk around, if you could wear a t-shirt saying Jesus is gay, right here in Croatia, a Christian country, and you will make it out of the country alive. I dare you to do the same thing with the Islamic Prophet. I dare you to do the same thing. You wouldn't make it out of a Christian country alive, an Islamic country alive. Even in Christian countries, you are not safe to do that. You do not disrespect their beliefs.
Yeah, disrespecting our lives.
No, you don't do that.
Yeah, you don't.
Nobody does. So what I'm saying is, if they're the last religion on earth that people are afraid to disrespect, if their God is the last God on earth that people are afraid to disrespect, then he's the only God that matters. If every other God can be mocked, laughed at, put in video games and fucking shot at, stupid shit, dressed up gay on TV shows, ha 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 ha, what kind of religion is that? It's a joke.
Yo.
I'm just breaking down the sentence as a professional because that's what I do. You said fear of getting canceled. So the first word incorrect was fear. I'm not afraid of anything. I don't live in fear. Second thing is canceled. If I was going to be afraid of anything on the planet, the last thing I'd be afraid of is getting canceled. Like, I've had people try to kill me. I have real enemies as we stand right now. There are groups of men waking up who want a bullet in my head. I don't give a fuck if some dork on the internet makes a video saying cancel Tate. Don't give a solitary shit. I have real problems. So just breaking down the sentence. I'm not afraid of shit. Would never be afraid of getting canceled. To answer the meta question as to, am I worried that someone's going to hear something I say and then be offended and then people aren't going to follow me anymore? Once again, I couldn't give a fuck. I don't give a fuck. I say what I think. These are the things I truly believe. Some people agree with me, some people don't agree with me, and that's absolutely and utterly fine. You're right. I am doing very, very well, despite the fact I'm saying things I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy. I am doing very, very well, but I think the reason that is because people know I'm authentic. People know I actually mean them. I can explain them in a way that makes them hard to disagree with. Even feminists struggle to argue with me on a lot of points. And also, I really do believe the things I say, most people intrinsically, even if it's a lesser version of, even if it's less extreme, agree with me. Most men intrinsically agree with a lot of the things I say.
Man, yeah. I'm surprised no feminists have ever come for your neck.
No, they've tried, but how can you come for my neck? How can you come for my neck when their basic battle cry and their basic weapons are ineffective? First, let's call them a misogynist. Yeah, I'm a misogynist. Okay, next. You're sexist. Yeah, probably. Next. Okay, I'm gonna cancel you. Don't give a fuck. I ain't got nothing to cancel. I'm on everyone else's account. I ain't got an account. Next. Okay, well, we can't call him an incel. You're a misogynist. Like, it's just a circle. They don't have any weapons.
Yeah.
They have no weapons against me.
Yeah.
How are you gonna sit there to the dude sitting with a bunch of beautiful women in his mansion and then say you're a sexist? You're ugly. You're a 3. These chicks are hot and they chose me. I don't give a fuck what you say. I'm not interested.
It's interesting.
It's actually very unfortunate. It's kind of unfortunate because women are completely and utterly solely judged on how they look. Like, a lot of these feminists are they're so busted. Like, if you're going to be a feminist, at least get hot first. Because if you're hot, you'll matter. Oh, the hot bitch said this.
Do you ever think
But if the ugly bitch said this, oh, you hear what the ugly bitch said? Have you ever heard it? No one cares. Nobody cares you're ugly.
Yeah.
It's just nobody cares. I understand why you're mad. I'm me, and the hot bitch is with me. I get it. You're mad at God. That's fine. But what are you going to do? Cancel me? I don't care. Make a video. Keep making videos. I don't care. Hot girls love men who are prepared to protect, provide, take care of them. If you're prepared to protect, provide, and take care, to a degree, you see yourself in a position of authority. To a degree, right? I need to take care of her. I'm going to pay her rent. She's going to come on my boat. She's going to listen to me. She's going to have a good life. You see yourself in a position of authority, so which means to some degree you are misogynistic. Women, beautiful women, love misogynistic men. When you see a 19-year-old Ukrainian on a billionaire's yacht in Dubai, is she complaining that he's the boss and he's in charge? Or is she like, oh, I'm glad he bought this boat. I don't know how boats work. I just want to fucking have a cocktail. Be a misogynist. Cool. You work out the port fees. I don't give a shit.
God damn it.
So they love misogynists. So the only women who don't love misogynists are the women who are too ugly to get fucked by a misogynist. And then they want to come along and try and cancel you on the internet. I don't give a shit. Cancel me. I will stand up right here and say I am sexist. Now, I don't mean that in a bad way, right? Because I'm sexist both ways. I try and say this all the time, but no one can seem to fathom it, especially not feminists with their minuscule brains. There are certain things in the world that I only trust men with, and there's certain things in the world that I only trust women with. I'm not talking about superiority, because superiority is field dependent. Anything that is violence related, women should be nowhere near. So I'll give you an example. My woman is very well trained that if it goes off in the street, she needs to just run and scream. If I say fuck off, leave. And I'll tell you why. I have seen the number of times I've seen a man walking with his chick, some beef goes, the girl tries to like get in the way. She doesn't want her man or the fight to happen, get hurt, da-da-da. I've seen a woman try to get in the way, da-da-da. Then she turns to her own man, gets hold of his arm, like, don't, holds his primary weapon when he gets knocked the fuck out. And she's holding on his fucking right hand. Boom, KO, head stomped.
Wow.
Stupid bitch. Now, her intentions may have been pure, but she just fucking ended her man's life. You are not capable and you're not prepared for the realities of violence.
Physical altercations,
anything
get away.
altercation like, fuck off. Don't get in the middle of it. Don't hold on to me.
So fuck off
don't
during
try and
physical
calm it down.
altercations.
Run and call the police. Run. But there was, because I see it so many times, bro, especially if a man's outnumbered, because the chick might love him. She might have truly pure intentions. Might 3 dudes on her guy. Oh, leave it. She's in the way and shit. They're just going to hurt you if they're really about it. If they're really from the street, they're going to knock you out now. Like, what the fuck are you there for? Now go protect you and me? Get the fuck out of here. So anything violence related. That's why I don't even like holding hands with a chick. I've seen it happen, man. And I've seen women in situations where even when their intentions are completely pure, they're not just a neutral, they are a net negative. A woman who does not properly train will get your ass ended. She will get your ass put the fuck asleep. So see it all the time. So that's one thing I don't trust women with. I'll give you a bunch of examples. I don't let women drive me in cars. Everyone loses their mind when I say this. I'll drive.
Never.
I state on my name, I want you to understand this very, very carefully. No woman has driven any of my cars ever. The cheapest car I possibly own, I would not let a female drive.
So wait, why though?
If you think I'm going to see a chick, and just because she is hot, just because she was born with an innate value, because she was born attractive, I'm going to assume she has the competence to pilot a $5.2 million Bugatti that she's never fucking driven before. And I'm going to allow her to risk that. I'm going to allow myself to risk that asset just to hope she might suck a little bit of dick when I can just fuck someone else. You're out of your fucking minds. I'm a chess player, right?
Yeah.
So it's not just about what did happen. or what could happen. It's about understanding the reality of what guaranteed will happen. And the fact that... No, I want you to understand something.
That's good.
I want you to understand something. The fact that I know what would happen in a hypothetical, even though that hypothetical is extremely unlikely, is enough to prevent me from doing something. So let me give you an example. Let me break this down. Let's say I let the girl drive my Bugatti, but the chance of her crashing...
Bugatti I get.
Okay, let's say I let a girl drive a car.
Yes.
Let's say I let a girl drive a car, and the chance of her crashing is less than 1%. Very low chance. What's the big deal? But if she did crash, the results of that crash would infuriate me to a new level in which I've never been infuriated. I'll tell you why. I'm trying to get to the point, because people think, you're sure she's going to crash. She probably won't crash, but you don't understand. It's like me saying to you, would you roll 100-sided dice, but if you lose, you die? You're like, well, no, the odds are low, but the consequences are big. So even though the odds are low, the consequences are big. And I'll tell you why the consequences are big of a female driving your car. Because females have no innate responsibility or honor. So if a bitch crashes your car, if you give your boy a car, right? He crashes it. Bro, I fucked up. I'm gonna pay this off. I'm gonna get to work. I'll get another job. Man, I'm sorry. Bitch crashes your car. Well, it wasn't even my fault. That guy came out of nowhere. I didn't even know.
Yo,
I didn't even know it.
So
and you have
right.
loads of money and you have loads of cars. Just buy a new one and I can't afford it. And then if you get too tough to her, look, you better fucking pay. She's just gonna block you and fuck some other guy. If they were to take responsibility for the issue to the point where like, look, I fucked up. I'm gonna pay this. They won't. So why the fuck am I gonna take the risk when I know they would crash my fucking supercar and not give a shit?
But girls don't like confrontation at the end of the day, though. I mean, girls
don't know. Wrong.
Well,
Girls don't like responsibility for shit. Girls don't like responsibility. They want another man to be responsible for fucking everything. They want to come along and say we're equal, until it comes to responsibility. Then, oh shit, someone's got to pay the bill. Well, you're a man. Oh shit, that's not our responsibility. Oh, that's not my responsibility. And that's fine, right? Because it's our duty to protect and provide. I'm sexist.
I agree
it's our duty, right? So I accept that. I don't want a woman who sees herself on my level in terms of responsibility because I find that unattractive. But the point I'm trying to make is I will not let a woman drive my car because I know what would happen if she crashed it. We'd end up breaking up because she would not be sorry enough. I'd resent her ass and dislike her for it. She'd start giving me attitude and I'm going to lose the bitch and a car. What's the point? And once again, so yeah, I'm sexist, right? But no, I'm sexist. I'm sexist. It's cool. I recommend any man out here do this. Get a ball, get a foam ball, won't hurt nobody. Say to your boy, think fast. Throw it at him. 5, not maybe 4 times out of 10, he'll catch it. Do it to a chick. Just do it. Think fast. Whoa, boom, straight in her mouth. They ain't catching the ball. They ain't doing shit. They're getting hit. Now, this makes me sexist. That's fine. But let me just explain something. There are scenarios where I'll make fun of men the same way, saying that women are a million times better in said scenario. So I'm not talking like I hate women. I'm talking about that in my life experiences, there are certain scenarios where if I want pure competence and I'm looking for the most competent individual, their gender is related to that competence. And it goes the other way also. There are scenarios where I would only trust a woman over a man. And most women, when women first hear what I say, they get annoyed. But if they have a brain, they sit there and go, you know what? He's right. I wouldn't want to drive a Bugatti that fast. He's right. I wouldn't want to be responsible for the shipping fees of a yacht. He's right. I probably can't catch a fucking ball flying at my face randomly. But, you know, he loves me and takes care of me and I'm going to do my part and he's going to do his part. It's fine. So women are absolutely and utterly fiercely loyal if she loves you. The reason people get confused because people say hoes ain't loyal and stuff and women ain't loyal. Women are not loyal if they don't love you because women are loyal to their own emotion only. So if they love you and then they stop loving you, they don't give a shit if you fucking live or die. That's just females as a whole, right? But if a woman's truly in love with you, women can be more loyal than anybody. Like I have a very loyal team and I have loyal boys completely. But if you have a woman who's truly about it and truly in love with you, man, haven't you seen all these fucking serial killers and their wives help them hide the body and shit? Like you could get women who are loyal. They're down. They're like, okay, let's hide it. Like you can get women who are truly loyal. So in certain scenarios, we need absolute loyalty. You need to use a female. If I were to have kids and I were to drop them off at a play school, would you ever drop your kids to an all-male play school? All men watching the kids? No. It's weird. Isn't that weird?
It is weird.
It's fucking weird. You'd only drop to all women, right? You trust them to be more nurturing. You trust them to be more patient. I wouldn't want to drop my 2-year-old. If I had a 2-year-old.
Maybe a couple gay males mixed in.
Maybe, but if I had a 2-year-old, yeah. But it's primarily a feminine environment because there's patience that's there. If I had a 2-year-old, I wouldn't want to drop it to an all-male environment because I think, well, what if she starts screaming and the men get pissed off and like the men might lose their temper? It's weird. It's just fucking odd.
No.
So there are certain things that are just set for females. Certain things are just set for males. Women are very, very good at certain things. If I was sick, I wouldn't call my boys. You want a chick to nurse you when you're sick. And a woman who truly loves you will sit with you in bed while you're sick, risk getting sick herself, and hug you all night. Women are amazing at a bunch of shit.
100%.
But I'm not going to sit here and say that chick can drive a fucking car as well as I can, because she fucking can't. She can't. And I'm not afraid to sit and tell the truth. If it's dark at night, raining heavy, in the middle of the mountains in Romania, where there's bears and fucking potholes and cows and shit, in a fucking Lambo at 3 in the morning, she doesn't even want to drive. Any woman who sits there and goes, I could drive this home as well as you, is a dislikable person, because one, you're lying. Two, you're not going to risk our lives to prove some point. Wreck my car and then be unaccountable for it. Well, you're rich anyway. Get another one. Why are you being rude to me? I'm going on a girl's holiday. Bye. And I'm left with a busted Lambo. So the answer is simple. You do not drive my fucking cars.
The patience part,
It's bullshit. It's bullshit. And everyone knows I'm right. And any man who thinks I'm wrong, give a chick a car and wait for her to crash it and see how accountable she is. See if she will get a second job to pay that off.
She won't.
Fuck no, she will. She doesn't give a shit. So I owed some money to some dangerous people. We won't tell that story. But I needed money fast. And I had 70 grand. I needed 100 to stay alive. And I wasn't fighting for a while. That was the time. It was the only way I was making money. So I thought, you know what? I'm sitting there. I had 70 grand cash in my house. I'm sitting there and I'm like, you know what? Sometimes, Tate, God just loves you and you just get lucky. You're going to go to the casino and you're going to make the 30. So I told Tristan my plan. And he's like, bro, what if you don't do it? I was like, bro, if I don't do it, we're fucked anyway. Like, they're going to get us eventually. We're going to end up dead. So I took 20 of the money, went to the casino, and lost it all. So I came home. Now we owe 50.
What did you play in the casino?
Right, so I know the odds. I know that statistically the best odds are blackjack. And I know that you can memorize perfect strategy in blackjack, which I've memorized. So I know that you have the statistical best odds in blackjack if you memorize perfect blackjack strategy, which I have done.
What, counting cards?
It's not counting cards. It's just knowing when to hit, when to stick,
knowing when to hit, when to stand,
based on the
every
dealer's card
scenario,
showing,
yeah.
etc. But I prefer roulette. And the reason I prefer roulette, even though the odds are trash, is because I feel like in roulette, I have no control. So if I lose, I feel I have a clearer conscience because I just put the money down. I ain't got anything to do with it. Whereas if I hit when I go bust, it's my fault. I know a lot about gambling. I know a lot about the odds of gambling. I know that there's absolutely nothing you can do on a roulette board that affect the odds of roulette. Mm-hmm. So single zero roulette is 2.7%, I believe. On a single zero roulette, if you play for long enough, you're going to lose 2.7% of your money over a long enough period of time. It doesn't matter how you bet. It doesn't matter if you bet on one number, all the numbers. It doesn't matter if you bet on red, black, blah, blah, blah. That's the stake built in. So it really doesn't make a difference what you do. So I just bet on these same 5 numbers that are my numbers for personal reasons, and that's it. So I lost 10 grand on roulette. Thought, fuck it, got up the odds. Went to blackjack. Stuck to perfect strategy, got wiped out, got fucked. Came home, now I'm 50 G's down. So I said to Tristan, we got a week to pay this money. I'm not going to leave my bedroom until I find a way to make 50 grand. So he's like, all right, cool. Because I think was it Newton? One of the scientists was a really weird guy. And if he had a scientific problem, he'd sit in his room and not leave until he worked it out. So I decided to become Newton. Maybe it was him, maybe it wasn't him. So I'm sitting in my room. So I started thinking, okay, let me approach this logically. I'm a very intelligent man. Let's do this. What do I need? Let's start at the very beginning. What do I want? Money. What is money? So I started researching what is money. What is money? How does it work? Federal Reserve, fractional reserve banking, interest, inflation, da-da. And by the time I got to the end of about a day and a half's research on money, I was really pissed off because I realized that money's bullshit. It's not even fucking real, and I don't have any. So now I'm double mad because I'm like, this is fucking imaginary trash linked to nothing, and I ain't got none. So I was really pissed. So I'm watching all these fucking videos and doing all this research on like assets, liabilities, blah, blah, blah. And then I got a piece of pen and paper. I've been taking notes the whole time. And I got to the point where I was trying to write down my assets. So I got a BMW. What's that worth? 22 grand something. I had a rented apartment. I'm big and strong, but I'm already fighting. I'm smart, but I'm already using it, trying to make money. I'm just writing down everything I have. And I had like these 5 girlfriends from fighting all around the world, right? So I'd fly to Paris. I'd knock someone out. I'd fuck a ring girl. And then she'd be like, oh, you're the champ. You're the champ. I'm like, yeah, I love you too, baby. And I'd leave. And they'd think like I was this big baller in London. I mean, I had an apartment and a nice car. My life was fine. But I also had some problems from a previous life, which I can't talk about on the internet. And they were still in love with me. So I was texting all these bitches, whatever. So I had these 5 girlfriends in these 5 different cities all around the world. So I thought, well, are the girls an asset? Well, they have beauty. Beauty's valuable. So I guess they're an asset. Maybe they can like lend me the money or get jobs and pay me the money or some shit. Because I need to pay this money. I'll pay them back, but I need to pay this money. So I wrote them down. Anyway, as I was thinking this again, can these chicks help me in any way? One of the girls offered to lend me like 5 G's or something. It didn't really help. And I'm sitting there thinking, can these chicks help me in any way? And I'm not a ruthless person. I'm really not an evil person that they try and paint me on the internet. I am not the guy who's going to put a bitch on the track. I'm not the guy who's going to hard pimp a bitch, make her fuck dudes. I'm not that guy. I don't like those kind of things. I don't want anyone to touch my chick. Strip club, maybe, but then to open a strip club, you need money. Right? How the fuck you open a strip club with no money? You need to build a strip club. It takes money. So I'm sitting there and I'm Googling on the internet like strip clubs or I was Googling like remote jobs, London, trying to see if there was some remote work I could tell my girlfriends to do online remotely to get the money. And I could tell the guys, look, I'll have the money by this day. And then between me and them and more of the incomes, I could pool the money and get the money, boom, boom. And while I'm looking up remote jobs, in the corner, one of them little videos comes up, talk to live girls now. You know those fucking things are on the porn sites. I've never been a porn guy. I still am, not to this day. I don't see the attraction in porn. I've never really been a porn watcher. I can really state under God, I've watched less than an hour of porn in my life. I don't find it interesting. I don't watch it. I don't go on the website.
You never ripped porn?
Never. It's not my thing. It's just boring. So I've never been a porn guy. So I didn't know how big like chatting to girls on the internet was. So I clicked on this advert. There's some chick sitting there talking to dudes, bring money on one of these websites. And I was like, I wonder how much she's getting. So then I start looking into this webcam thing and I realized these girls are making bank. These girls are making fucking money. So that was the plan. I was like, all right, cool. The girls are gonna be webcam girls. So I originally thought I'll set them all up remotely and they'll do it all from home and send me the money. But the problem with that, I'll have one as well if you don't mind.
Yeah.
So, but then I thought, you know what? I'm gonna be teaching all these girls how to make as much money as they want. Are they really gonna give me the money? You know, am I going to end up with the money or is this going to go bad for me? Plus, now they need tech. I'm going to have to send them money to buy tech. Do I really trust the bitch to send the money? Is she going to work hard? Is she going to set it up right? This might all go wrong. So the only answer is I got to bring them all to me and I got to be in charge. So I flew all 5 chicks in. None of them knew about each other. Nothing. Thank you. Sat down at a nice restaurant. Me, Tristan. He flew 2. I flew 5, 7 girls. So look, about to get rich. This is my plan. I'm going to do this. I put a spin on it, of course. Big boss, big G, got big opportunity. This money's been invested. I've always wanted you to live with me. Now's your chance. You can leave Paris. You can leave Croatia. You can leave whatever. You come live in London with me. You're going to do this. You're going to be rich. I'm going to be rich, blah, blah, blah. Put a spin on it. You're all going to live here. Of my 5 girls, obviously they all kicked off. Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? Who's this bitch? I'm like, look, you're all mine. Get over it. Talk about money now. This is a higher purpose. But you fucked her. Yeah, I fucked her. Who cares? We're talking about money. We're talking about millions. Get over it. Some of them got upset. They'll start arguing, whatever. 3 left, 2 stayed. And that was the beginning of the empire. The 2 who stayed, bought some laptops, sat them down, said, look, you're going to get this much percent. I'm going to get this much percent. Wasn't exploitation. They wanted to do it. They were like, yeah, this could fucking make some money. All right, well, cool. Let's try it. And me and these 2 chicks started the company from the ground up. And we started doing 15, 16, 17-hour days. Now, when the girls were at the computer working, I was at the computer the entire time. Because another thing I learned from doing this business, I learned something about women, is that they are intrinsically, I don't want to use the word lazy, but I will. They have no interest in world conquest. They want to be comfortable. If you show a woman how to make $1,000 an hour, she'll think, I can work 2 hours a week. If you show a man how to make $1,000 an hour, he'll think I can make $18,000 a day. We want to conquer the world. We want all of it. We want all of it.
Not to cut you off, but I agree with that completely. And OnlyFans has proven that.
It's proven it. They're lazy about it. There's like, give me enough for food and rent. Can't be bothered. Lazy. They're lazy. Yep. So we didn't have time for lazy, right? So I was like, no, we ain't got time for that. We got to make all of the money. But we made this much today. Not enough. There's more money in the world. It's ours. All of it's ours. I got to the point where I was so obsessed with it. I'd be sleeping in bed because the chicks would sleep with me one each side. I'd wake up to go piss. And by the time I finished pissing, I was awake enough to say, all right, 2 hours sleep, that's enough, get up. Back to work. We're going to fucking kill it. So me and these 2 chicks, and they were about it, right? Because they're getting money as well. Me and these 2 chicks, we just start fucking hammering the webcam game. Problem is, another thing I knew, when I talk about what women don't find, that women don't know what men find attractive, earlier on this podcast, everything I said, the webcam company I was running proved that perfectly. The women who were on stream were beautiful. But they didn't have a fucking clue what to say. They were saying all the wrong shit, man. Every day they were saying the wrong shit, and we were losing customers. Everything I was telling you earlier about wanting to be innocent. They're saying, oh, I've been here, I've been there. I'm like, shut the fuck up. You're talking to some dude. He doesn't want to hear where you've been. He knows you can't be a 10 talking about how you've been to Dubai to some fucking dude in Minnesota who's fat. He ain't gonna ever believe that he's gonna get you that way. You gotta lie to him. You gotta lie to him. She's like, lie and say what? Say that you've never been anywhere because you don't trust men. You can't find a man who's serious. Make him think that if he's serious about you, that nothing else matters. Wow, you gotta put a famoose on it. So I'm trying to teach these women, and the women kept fucking it up. So I said to them, it's like, you know what, fuck it. I'm taking over. So what I did is I unplugged their keyboards and plugged a new one in from me behind the screen. So the chicks would sit there and hit a keyboard that wasn't plugged in. And me and my brother, and eventually some staff I trained, would do all the talking. The girls were just famoosers, just laughing and doing this. Their titties out, and they were talking to fucking ice cold hustlers. We were taking their money, all of it. If they come and say, what kind of, all of it. We were fucking milking them dry. Women haven't got a clue how to famoose a dude. They don't have, because they rely on their looks. They don't have any of the intellect. They have no game, nothing.
There's some, though.
There's nothing.
There's some.
Nah, you get a man with game and give him a female's body, a female avatar. He will fuck a guy up. I had these guys selling their houses, life savings, loans, all of it to me. Give me it all. So like, and it's basic shit, right? You'd have a guy.
Did you feel bad or no?
Fuck no. To give a solitary fuck.
Did you tell like?
I don't give a fuck. If you run an alcohol store,
You can't feel bad for people that pay for that shit.
yeah. If you run an alcohol store, and most of the people you sell to enjoy alcohol, but a couple of the people you sell to are alcoholics, do you feel bad?
No.
Right. So if you come
I'd be going to hell if that was the case.
If you come and you enjoyed it and spoke to the girl and spent what you could afford to spend, cool. If you turned up and you're an idiot and got a loan out, is that my problem? No. So I'm famoosing these dudes, right? So the guy would be like, what kind of guys do you like? And if he was a young man, I'd say, I can't believe I'm talking to some young guy. All these old creeps are on here. Oh my God, you're so handsome. Why are you even here?
So
if he was an old guy, I would say, oh my God, I'm finally glad to talk to you. All these young creeps keep coming to talk to me. I want a guy who's serious, who's ready to settle down. I know older men will settle down. Sell the dream, sell the dream, sell the dream. We got to the point where we had these guys falling in love with my models, serious, big time in love, right? Sending crazy money. And they were convinced they were going to meet the chick. This is almost where I kind of felt bad. Because they were like, can we meet? I've sent you $200,000. Can we meet? Can we meet? Can we meet? They'd want to meet the chick, right? I only did a meeting once ever. I had a big customer with my best girl.
How much did that cost?
He paid 50 G's for dinner, just dinner. It was clear it was just dinner. He booked a really nice restaurant in London. It was me, my brother, and about 4 of my other kickboxing boys on different tables because he doesn't know what we look like, right? So he's gone to dinner. She's sitting at the table. He's sitting at dinner. He's surrounded by killers, bro. He didn't even know. Casey was weird or tried to drug her or some shit, right? So he sat there at dinner, had the dinner, whatever. Dinner ended, nothing happened. But after they meet the girl once, the fantasy's now ruined. Like, so now they're like, okay, when can we meet again? When can we meet again? You said you liked me. You said you loved me. Hey, why don't you stay over? They start getting really pushy, and you end up like losing the customer because you can't keep meeting him without nothing happening. Girl doesn't want anything to happen, so you got to kind of keep it in the fantasy world. So we learned from this. After this, girls cannot meet guys under any conditions. So what the girls would do is they'd promise meetings, and maybe this is a bit bad. Here's where the famoose would start. So it'd be good, like I had a lot of girls who worked for me, and the best was like the Ukrainians or the Russians. It was amazing. Because they'd get some guy, fall in love, they'd arrange today to meet, all this shit, I need a visa. Okay, get a visa. I need money for a visa. Okay, how much is a visa? It's $900. No, but it's not $900 because I went to the embassy. They think I'm a risk, and I need a return flight there and back, and I need a hotel. I need to have spending money in my bank account. They won't let me come. Or how much you need? All right, 10 grand. Boom, it's 10 G's. Boom, thanks.
Wow.
Go to the embassy, take a picture outside the embassy, boom, come back. They rejected my visa. They said we have to wait 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, they'll give it to me. Okay, baby, boom. 2 more weeks of tips. Boom, 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 boom. Because now he thinks he's going to fuck, right? He thinks we get the girls. Now he's spending more than ever. 2 weeks. 2 weeks come. Some other problem. Whether it's visa, whatever. We make up some bullshit, right?
All these OnlyFans chicks can learn from you, man.
Oh, man,
no,
bro,
but you know, like a free
people watch
free OnlyFans tutorial.
Yeah,
here in the DMs.
people would say, why did those girls work for you? Because the girls would work for me, and at 50%, because it was 50-50, would make millions per month. If they worked for themselves, they'd make fucking nothing. I was the best in the fucking game. What? Me, and I had a whole team of staff. The girl would only work 6 or 7 hours a day online. But fuck, I'll give it all for free because I'm rich already. But so the girl would be online for 6 or 7 hours, but then when she logged off, was sleeping or whatever, on her WhatsApp, I'd have staff. She was online 24 hours a day. Her WhatsApp, her this. She was famoosing when she was asleep. We were bringing in money from the fucking sky. We were promising all these meetings, all these pictures outside of embassies, all this shit. Eventually, the girl, what she would do is she'd say, oh, I don't want to go embassy. She'd give a really lame excuse to try and provoke the man to get angry. So she'd say, the embassy want me to come back, but I have a headache. That was the one we'd use. He'd be like, I just sent you $1 million. You promised you were going to come. You said you had to delay. Now you're saying you have a fucking headache and you won't go to your appointment. To make him mad on purpose, because that would annoy any man. And then that's what we needed. We needed a little trigger, and we go, why are you being aggressive? I'm not being aggressive, but you're not serious, da-da-da. And then we'd say, but you know what? I really like you, and I'm flying to the other side of the world by myself, and now you're being aggressive, and now I'm intimidated. And we'd flip it on him, saying, well, now you're being scary. No, I'm not being scary, but you know, it's your appointment. You're supposed to go, yeah, but I feel sick, and you don't even care. Female bullshit. Female bullshit. And flip it on him.
Oh
flip it on him. And he'd get fucking furious, because we were really good at
playing
fucking...
both sides.
Poking him to the point where you go like, you're a fucking scammer, you fucking scam me, get really mad. I can't believe you think I was a scammer. I was gonna come, I went to the embassy, you're a fucking liar. Every man in my life has only lied to me. I thought you were different. Da-da-da. Big beef, big argument.
Yep.
Big argument. But here's the thing. The guy would get pissed off, right? And leave, stop tipping her, stop coming to her. But for these men, that's the only chick in the world, the only hot chick in the world who talks to him. Maybe it takes a week, maybe it takes 2 weeks, maybe it takes 3 weeks. He's in bed at night, alone, jerking off, looking at her old videos and pictures, watching her stream again from another account so she can't see it's him, sitting there going, maybe she was going to come. Maybe I just got too mad when she had a headache. Maybe I should have been a little bit more patient and she would have been my girlfriend. And 100% of the time, in less than 3 months, they'd be back with an apology, a brand new pile of money, and the cycle would repeat. We fucking killed the game. Millions of dollars a week. And it was not just because I had beautiful girls. It's not because webcam is easy. It's because I am a genius. And I put together an apparatus of genius behind the avatar of beauty. I'll buy you a bag, I'll buy you shoes, whatever. I'm investing. It's not even that it's 100%. I'm in charge of the money.
Yeah.
Not that you can't have things. It's not that you can't do things. Not that you're fucking flat broke. I'm in charge of the money. 100 G's just came. What do you want to buy? Oh, I really want this bag. Well, you bought a bag last week. I really want this one. Okay, well, here's the bag. What else do you need? Nails, food, da-da-da. Okay, cool. Well, I'm paying the rent. Is there anything else you actually need? No. All right, then let's invest this. It was more very much like I was in charge of the money. Otherwise, she was just spunking it on dumb shit. So it wasn't, I say the 100% thing, everyone loses their fucking mind. But basically it was the more intelligent, competent individual inside of the pair was in charge of the money. Me.
Okay.
She could be replaced. I can take another girl of equal beauty, sit her down in front of that keyboard, which ain't even plugged in, bitch, and do this and make the same fucking money. You are lucky to work for me because I can replace you. You cannot replace me. There is no other genius on the internet doing this the way I do it. So it's my money. It's my staff who've been up all night while you're asleep WhatsApping this dude. It's my team who know what to say. It's me who's been in charge of the plan to make sure he sends X amount before X. Because it was a real business. And the reason we were so successful is I was never thirsty about it. Most dudes in those scenarios would be trying to live like Dan B and all this shit. I love what he does. Cool, guy's a G. But I wasn't trying to live like that. I didn't want to go to the club with a bunch of girls. I didn't want to be seen on the street with a bunch of girls. I still have enemies at this point. I don't be walking around with fucking beautiful women. It's a liability. I was low-key, hiding, pure business. I wasn't fucking all the time. No, work. We were there to make money. The fact that I was surrounded by naked women did not care. I was unfazed. Unfazed. You put me in a room with 20 of the most beautiful women you've ever seen, stark naked, didn't give a fuck. Walked straight in, spreadsheet, walked straight out. Didn't care.
Did you smash one of them?
Of course I fucked, but I'm saying I was about the money. I approached it as a professional. I was a professional to the game. That's why we killed it. Another thing we did. I love my woman to experience the world through me.
Yeah.
That requires money. But I would never get with a brand new chick and just start buying her shit.
Fuck no.
Fuck no. But if a woman truly loves me and there's an experience she's yet to have, I would love to give it to her. I'd love to give her something she's never had before. But if I get a chick who's already had a bunch of it, I'm less motivated. In fact, I know she ain't gonna get shit. If I get with a chick who's had a bunch of ballers before, then she can fuck herself. Fuck her, get by, goodbye. Because she ain't worth shit anyway. But if I get a chick of innocence, I'm interested in showing her the world in all realms, including financial. That's the answer to the question. I think you understand what I'm saying.
Yeah,
she loves me. Boom, boom, boom. It's impossible for me to be with a chick and her not have a good life, right? How can I have a chick with me? She's my girl, and my life's so fantastic. What, she's gonna get a taxi when I get in my car?
Yeah.
Not get on my jet. She has to fly commercial. I'd have to be a real weirdo to prove a point.
Maybe she has to earn that.
Being near me, your life's good. If you're anywhere near Tate, you're living good.
Why not?
I don't see the tactical advantage to getting married. If I decided to be loyal to a woman and be with her forever, that's fine. If I decide to have children with a woman, that's fine. If I decide to have a house with a woman and live with her, sure, possible. It's not optimal, but it's possible. But the idea of just getting married in and of itself is completely and utterly fruitless. I think it's for the woman. The women enjoy it. But women enjoy lots of things when they don't have to pay for it or organize anything. Sure, she gets to show off on Instagram, organize nothing, waste all my money. And now the government is involved in a new area of my life. I don't want the government involved. The government is already involved in when I register a car, all my money, bank accounts, when I get a job, when I buy a house. Government's everywhere, right? Don't I just want to at least be able to walk around with my dick without the government being involved? Now, if I put my dick in another bitch, my wife can go and say, I have proof he put his dick in another bitch. Go to a lawyer and go to the government. He owes me this. That's adultery. Automatic this much percent. So now the government is watching my dick? Leave me alone. No, leave me the fuck alone. Like, if I love her, she loves me. Love you very much. Love you too. Cool, we love each other. That's fine.
Okay, would you...
I've experienced a lot of female love in my life. I know when women love me, and it's not hard to make a woman love you as a man. I don't think it's really that difficult. I have a lot of women who love me, but this is actually the meta point that I was going to say before you said that. If a woman truly loves you, she'll stay with you without that shit. So the women who go to their man, marry me or I'm leaving.
They're done.
Then why the fuck you marrying a bitch who's already thinking about, she's already given you conditions to fucking keep the relationship? If a woman truly loves you and you sit there and say, look, I've been around the world, I'm about it. I know things you don't know. Signing that piece of paper is bad for me. It's also bad for you. It's bad for business. Shut the fuck up.
What about...
Okay, but how do I know you love me? Because I tolerate you. Shh. Done. No fucking wedding, no bells, no dress, no bollocks. It's all bullshit. And men fall into this trap, but no man wants to get married. This is another thing I'm going to say. And I'm not shitting on guys who get married. Get married. It's your prerogative. I don't give a fuck. I'm just saying me. I truly don't believe any man actually wants to get married. He wants his woman to be loyal. He wants his woman as a wife. He doesn't want to be a husband. He just wants to do it so she's less likely to cheat. It's a degree of insecurity. Well, if I marry her, she'll know I really love her, and maybe then she won't leave. If you really know your bitch ain't gonna leave you, if you knew in the stars, if God came down and said she's never gonna leave you, never gonna leave you, she's yours, you own her soul, would you marry her? I was like, fuck no. Why? She's mine. It's done. I know my chick ain't leaving me. My chicks ain't going nowhere. You also have to keep in mind that most people can't do what I can do because most people cannot be as entertaining as I am by simply just sitting down talking shit.
Definitely.
So I can sit down and talk shit and be extremely polarizing. So I have unlimited free content.
Yeah.
You can give me a camera and I can sit for 12 hours a day and talk at that camera. I have unlimited free content, which makes it easy. Like if you're a big YouTube channel that do like these giveaways or you do these big pranks or you need planning, you need
Definitely.
a Lambo, you need a girl. Me, I can just get a camera and just start talking. iPhone. And I'll get 10 million views.
Crazy.
So that's the first thing. So I have unlimited free content is the first thing.
So your content's really easy to make,
It's super easy to make.
which is dope.
Which is dope. The easier your content is to make, the more competitive you are.
Yep.
I'm super competitive because I need an iPhone. You give me an iPhone and half the subject, and I'll just start running my mouth. And people, for some reason, like to listen to me for free. I have never paid for an ad. I've never paid for a shout out. I'm not paid to be on any of these big Instagram pages I'm all over. I ain't paid for shit. They're all giving it to me for free because they're like, this will get us views. Tate. That's it.
So is that not correct then?
But I have enough money forever. Like I'm at the point of money now where it really truly has no value. Everything in the world to me is free. And I grew up very, very poor, so I can still remember being poor. I grew up with nothing, truly. My family, my mother and father, they got divorced when we were in Indiana. My mother moved back to England. My father stayed in America. My father unfortunately died. My mother and my brother and my sister, we grew up in the free houses that the government give you, so the projects of England, in the town called Luton, which was voted the worst town in England with the highest crime rate, blah, blah, blah. Lived in a shit area, grew up with nothing. And I've done all of this completely myself. No financial help, never got a loan from a bank, a friend, nothing. Did all of it completely by myself. So I remember being broke. And I really, really am thankful for those poor days, because if it wasn't for the days being poor, being rich would suck.
100%.
Bro, it's fucking, it really ain't that cool. It's only cool because you can do shit and say, do you remember when we couldn't afford to do this?
Yeah.
Otherwise it's boring, right? So I'm at the point now where absolutely everything in the world is free. If a new car is launched and I see it, let's say it's a brand new Lamborghini, right? In fact, I did this yesterday. They're replacing the Aventador. There's a new Lamborghini. It's a it's hybrid. It's 1,000 horsepower. That's all I know. I saw an advert, a YouTube video on YouTube in the Explore page. I didn't even watch the video of the review of the upcoming car. I didn't even watch the 4-minute video. I just saw a new Lambo's coming, texted my Lambo guy and said, I'll have one. I don't know how much it costs. I don't need to choose options because I tick every box. Every option, give me one. It'll come out the bank and I won't notice. It'll turn up. Everything's free. If I want a Lambo, it's free. If I want to go jet, it's free. Give me a yacht, it's free. Besides mega yachts and mega mansions, literally everything on the planet is free. I also have some more traditional wealth income methods. I've got a property portfolio across about 6 or 7 countries. I'm also an extremely capable individual. In fact, I wish I had my business card on me to give it to you. But I'm the guy that people can come to that can fix things. So I have a lot of people with a lot of money who will come to me and say, look, the war's going on. I need to get someone out of Russia into Europe. Or look, I got to move this money here. That in a very legal way, I know enough people to help do those things. So I can make a lot of money with that. Online, I have 2 serious ventures. One is Hustlers University, and the other is the War Room.
What do you do on those?
Okay, so the War Room is kind of like the Illuminati, but cooler. The War Room is very difficult to explain, but it's a private network. It's a network in which you must compete for your place. When I was saying earlier on this podcast about living with competitive men, the War Room's the online version of that. So you have men, you join, you pay, you join. There's tasks, tests, things you must do to keep your place or you're booted.
Such as?
I can't tell you.
Oh, you can't say it's that private?
How much does it cost to join?
It's like 5,000. It's not that much. It's $5,000 to join, but you can get kicked at any moment without a refund. So the point is that it's constantly winners, right? The losers are always peeled off the bottom, so the winners get more and more competitive. And we have extremely important people inside of the War Room. You can go to the War Room. I go to the War Room for the problems no one else can fix. Like when the Ukraine war, when the war kicked off in Ukraine, and they closed the borders or the borders panicked, we had 7 War Room members of Ukraine. We got them all out in 24 hours. Then we have Hustlers University. The reason I started Hustlers University is because I was arguing with someone about how pointless the modern education system is. I think the modern education system is nothing but an indoctrination machine. I think they use it to indoctrinate the youth. I think it's a waste of fucking time.
What, to brainwash people?
To brainwash people, of course they do. And it's actually, because I can talk forever, the world's a spider's web, right? Everything extrapolates from everything else. And most people are not capable of understanding that nearly every single idea or habit or lifestyle which is propagated mainstream by the Matrix is done so with a Trojan horse. So even the educational system...
Meaning with a hidden agenda?
With a hidden agenda. So even if you look at things like women's rights, women need rights, women need protecting, women should be equal under the law, completely agree. They want people to work so they can pay more taxes, double the tax base. But you know what else they wanted them to work for?
Get the kids out of the...
To get the kids out of the influence of the parents, right? When the woman's at home and the father's at work, those children are learning from the woman who's probably learning from the father, and you get to instill your own beliefs in those children. Government doesn't want that. The government wants the children to belong to them. So they get the woman out of the house and they send you to school for as long as possible to reprogram you. This is why you will see YouTube videos of children arguing with their parents, and their parents will say that's not true, and the children will say, I learned in school that a man can be a zebra, or whatever they learned, and they start arguing with their own children. You don't own your own children's minds anymore, because your children's mind is owned by YouTube and the school, right? And the school will say to you, if your parents ever yell at you or get aggressive to you, you come to me and we'll tell the police. Don't worry about that. So they're doing it to brainwash the children, right? Because this is how you control the future. So the whole educational system in and of itself is a scam. They use feminism and the whole women's rights bullshit to get everyone's children into the indoctrination machine. They keep you there as long as possible. They want you to finish in debt because then you got to get a fucking job and become a good slave. But they don't teach you anything of value. Nobody learns anything of value in school. And everybody intrinsically knows this. Even the people who disagree with me, I said, if you see me pull up in my Bugatti in a gas station, do you look at me and think, wow, he went to school? Fuck no. You think drug dealer, gangster, scammer. Yeah. You think I'm doing something illegal because you understand if I was staying within the paradigms of the system, I couldn't have possibly achieved this. The only way you can fathom I've done it is by imagining me as an outlaw. Because you know within the paradigms of society, I shouldn't have even fucking done it. That's how much you know school's a scam. You don't look at someone rich and respect them thinking he went to school. The people you are learning from in school aren't even fucking rich. Your business professors never had a business. They're brokies. They're fucking broke. So school's a scam. And it's the biggest scam on earth. And the reason it's a scam, before I get into the meta point, the reason it's a scam is because it operates in a vacuum. It operates in a vacuum because it cannot be fairly compared to any other service. So you can get a loan for school, but you can't use that money for anything else. Because if they were to open it up and put the school, the education system, into the fair market of capitalism, it would fail. If I were to give you $100,000 and say you can get a degree, or you can buy a crypto, or you can start your own business, or you can do anything you want with it, who's going to choose a degree?
No one, probably.
Nobody! So they say you can only get the money if you use it for education, which allows it to operate inside of a vacuum. Because it operates inside of a vacuum, it is one of the few things on the planet which is allowed to be non-competitive. It's not competitive against any other investment. Everyone knows that. But you can only get the money for that. So you can't get the money to invest in anything else. So you end up doing it, learning something that is outdated, slow to learn. There's more, it doubly inflates. There's more degrees every single year, meaning the value of a degree decreases. And the price goes up every single year. So it's worth less each year. It costs more year on year. There's no other industry where you can even get away with that. You get wrecked, except for the educational system. So I was explaining why it's all a fucking scam. And people say to me, well, what else am I supposed to do? I don't know what else to do. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll start a school, and my school will teach you how to make money. Because what do you want to work for? Oh, I want to work for my passion. Da-da. If you want to work for your passion, fuck off. What do you want to work for? I want to work for money. You're the guy I need. You want to work for money. Because there's people who really don't want to do what they enjoy. That's fine. You're never going to be rich that way. Go be a vet. A vet, you might be rich. Go work in the zoo and clean up pig shit because you get to be near an elephant. If that's your thing, go do it. Your passion has nothing to do with getting paid. So the people who are serious, the people who are smart enough to go, I only work because I want money. I don't care what I do. I just want money. Cool. Then you can come to my school. Now, my school is competitive. My school does not operate inside of a vacuum. It's $49 a month for Hustlers University, and we teach 18 modern wealth creation methods. We teach 18 different ways to make money in the modern world, which is very different from the old world, which is a key point because people always say, well, my parents told me. Your parents lived in a different fucking world. Your parents bought a house for $60,000 and now it's worth $500,000. So of course they're telling you to save up, buy a house. How are you gonna buy a house for $500,000? You're working at Starbucks, G. It ain't gonna happen, right? So all your parents' advice is outdated and it's bullshit. So all the old advice is bullshit. Saving money is bullshit. Inflation's like 10%. Save. You gotta get rid of your money. Fuck saving. You gotta fucking spend it. So everything they tell you is wrong and old. So it's all modern wealth creation, 18 different modern wealth creation methods. It's $49 a month. And you can spend that $49 on anything you want. You don't have to join my school. You can go buy lunch if you want. So I'm competing against the entire world, right? You can invest that in anything. And people are still choosing my school. That shows it has a genuine value. At the point of this podcast where I checked this morning, we have 108,000 students. 108,000 students.
108,000 in Hustlers University?
Correct.
Whoa.
108,000 isn't impressive that I've amassed. It's impressive that I retain. There are 108,000 people in the world who have joined my school for $49 a month. And they say, I am getting more for my money or more value than I'm investing here. I'm either making more money back or I'm learning more than I would ever possibly learn for $49 anywhere else. So I, unlike traditional education, genuinely compete in the world. And I'm the only educational platform in the world that does this. There's no competition at all. And I do it because the people who join my school and listen actually make money. Now, I've been accused of a bunch of shit. There is an affiliate system. You can make money with affiliates. That is a system that does exist inside. That's one of the 18 ways. You don't have to just affiliate for HU. You can affiliate for Amazon products. We teach how to affiliate for fucking anything. So you can affiliate for a bunch of shit. But there's 17 other ways to make money, all inside of the school itself. So we are the #1 educational platform on the planet. And I will say this now. Anybody who's serious about making money should be inside. Because $49 is not going to help you in any other way in your life. There's no crypto you're going to buy for $50 that's going to blow up. There's nothing else. For $50, you have fucking nothing to lose. I'm not saying it's going to be easy. I'm not saying it's going to be quick. But we'll teach you how to make money if you're ready to sit there and learn. So that's what HU is. So I've got the HU and the War, the two biggest things online. There are people who've been in charge of the world for quite a long time. And to keep it simple and to make sure this podcast stays up, the people who control the money are going to control the world. Because if you have money, you can influence people.
Yeah.
Right? So, and the governments, what do the governments need? Money. So they're a layer in the chain.
That's what I mean.
The governments are the illusion of choice.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter who the fucking president is. It's bullshit. Right? So the true matrix, the people who truly control it, they want as much influence and power as possible. This is human nature. If you have a company, you're not going to hire employees who disagree with you and don't listen to you. You're going to want them to be as compliant as possible. Just like you're going to want your woman to be as compliant as possible. It's who you are as a man, right? So if you're one of the most important, powerful billionaires on the planet, you're going to want as much power over the world as possible. You want people to be compliant. So you're going to look for that outside support structures and attempt to attack them. If you had a girlfriend and she's 100% and she listens to you, except she has this one friend who's always in her ear talking shit, you're going to say, don't be friends with her anymore. So if you're trying to teach the children X, but their parents are trying to teach them Y, you're going to say that we need them to spend less time around their parents. So how do we do that? We need the parents to be more busy and we need them to go somewhere.
That's just like some crazy control shit, though,
That
is what
crazy,
I'm saying.
yeah.
But that's what they've done.
Yeah.
It's on purpose. Like, it's very, very purposeful. It's all done on purpose. I mean, if the last 3 years haven't proved that, I don't know what's going to prove it to you. Like, there's definitely people who want to control us because all of us, every man on earth, has an innate instinct for power and control. We're all human. We're not pure creatures. The reason you guys love doing this podcast is because you love being big and getting more followers and getting more influence. What is influence? It's power. It's control. It's what you want. It's what I want. It's what everyone wants. If you get to a certain level in life, that's what you want. Now you're going to have power and influence over a whole bunch of people. You may believe, it's not even necessarily evil. You may believe that you're helping them. They don't understand the world. They're the little peasants. They're the ants. I'm the big billionaire. I'm going to teach them things they don't know they need to learn yet. Their mother is outdated. She's in their ear. We're going to separate them so I can help the kids. They may think they're doing it for a good reason, but what they're really doing is trying to propagate their own personal worldviews on other people, as we all do, as you do, as I do, etc. They just managed to have a lot more influence and more power to do it, right? Mm-hmm. So you talk about governments. The fuck is a government? Governments are bought and sold. That's all bullshit, right? But there's people in charge of the world who want us to listen when they talk. And they're going to do their very, very best to stop anybody or stop any kind of power or support structure which is going to prevent that. It's done on purpose. This is why they also try and ensure that the people of most nation states are infighting. This is why government and politics and everything is the biggest lie in the world. You have Democrats and Republicans arguing with each other all fucking day when they're two sides of the same coin. And the people in charge of all of it are laughing. Bro, if you had to fight 100 fucking cats, right? You'd probably get through it, but it'd be a bit messy. The first thing you want to do is turn
100? Fuck.
Yeah, well,
100 what?
I take 100 cats easy.
Yeah.
Snap their necks like fucking Rambo. Point is, you'd want to turn all the white cats against the fucking yellow cats. First. Start civil war first. Let's get them uneasy. We don't working together on me now. Let's man. Well, you're Democrat, you're Republican. You're black, you're white, you're brown. You're gay, you're straight. You're a man, you're a woman. You're this, you're that, you're this, you're that. And everyone's going to sit there and fucking argue all day. And they're going to sit at the top laughing. There's more of us than there is of them. But they don't think that. They're very, very smart. It's divisive on
How do
purpose.
they get that smart?
It's because it's age old, bro. Look at how England conquered India. England conquered India with less than 100,000 troops. There was millions of Indians. And the supply line is 9 months long. How do you do it? You turn up. You turn one team against another team, one family against another family, one tribe against another tribe. Arm one side. They start winning. Oh shit, we need to take some power back. Arm the other side. Do. It's basic foreign policy. And it's internal policy. It's basic. It's how it's always been. And then before you know it, who runs India? The British. That's how you do it, right? It's how America does most of foreign policy today. It's how the world functions. You cannot have people united. You can't have people united. If you have all the people inside your country united, they're not going to stand up for shit. I'm sorry, they're not going to stand for shit. They're going to stand up for shit. They know the media is the machine. The media is the weapon that they use to propagate. Sad. Yeah, it's sad. So all of this is very, very purposeful. The people in charge of the world do it on purpose. Of course it's done on purpose. But you're saying, like, why did they come up with these ideas or how is it done? Because this is my closing statement. Maybe I'm getting old. I'm 35, right? I've seen the world change in real time. I remember the world before the internet, and I've seen the rise of the internet. And I would say now I'm big on the internet and stuff. And I just think the world, I understand when I was young and I used to like something and old people would say, turn that off, it's degenerate. I'd be like, it's just a video game or it's just a song. I'm becoming that guy.
Yeah.
I'm becoming that guy now where I hear things or I see shit. The world's just so degenerate now.
Oh, 100%.
I see like these girls like twerking and on a boat or dudes just popping pills. I don't know. It's just all so degenerate. And now that degeneracy angers me, it's made me almost, it's changed me to a degree. Because even you're just talking about banging chicks, whatever. I really have no interest in just tearing through chicks. I just think it's degenerate. I think
guys are degenerate too.
Yeah, no, of course men are and women are. I just think it's a degenerate attitude. Like I could sleep with thousands of women. I just think maybe I'm just bored of it. I don't know, but I'm just kind of like, I'd rather have one or two or five. Give me 5 girls and I'll settle down. 5 wives, that's enough. I'm never going to be Mr. One Gina. I'm not going to be one hoe is too close to no hoe. So we're not going to go down that road.
With 5,
but 5 is enough. Give me a buffer space to replace one if she gets out of line, whatever. Give me 5 chicks, I'll settle down right now. But to actually be running out there and just really tearing through it, I just think maybe I'm just bored of the game. Maybe it got too easy. But I don't know. Even sex in and of itself, I just think, is it that good?
You don't think?
Yeah, but they got jealous. But it's hard to get jealous. This is about the social paradigm. It's hard. Of course they got jealous, and I would reassure them and tell them everything's okay. But they would never disrespect me openly because no one else did. You don't want to be the only disrespectful bitch. Then you get kicked out. Yeah, it's not the societal norm. This is why in America everyone's fat because it's normal. You go to Russia or Ukraine, there's very few fat people because you don't want to be seen fat because no one's fat. So everyone's going to be like, what the fuck are you obese for? Do you understand what I'm saying?
Sure.
It's a societal norm. If every chick is coming up to me and treating me like God, you don't want to be the only chick with an attitude. Because you feel embarrassed.
You ever had
Plus, yeah, of course I had that. Plus, you get kicked out.
Yeah.
What I used to do.
I get your strategy now.
Girls would get kicked out. And then when they got kicked out, they'd fail because they're naturally lazy. So then when a girl got kicked out, we'd have a party. Every time I fired a bitch, we'd have a party. So we'd have a party and not make fun of her, but just say like, one less hoe, last one standing, gets the sun. We used to make a joke and all this shit. So we kick the girl out, we'd have a party, and girls would instantly, not like turn on her, but girls are tribal, right? She's no longer part of the tribe. She's stupid, and we'd all kind of think. And the part of the party is we'd monitor her on camera. So every day after she left, we'd check on how well she was doing.
How?
You can see them online, how many hours they do, their ranking on the website, how much money they're making, all that kind of stuff.
Oh.
And they go from way up here, making millions, to just slowly declining. Because they're lazy. They're lazy. They'd fall off and end up down to nothing and then beg for their job back.
Don't.
So now girls are like, if I leave, he's going to have a party, he's going to make fun of me, and I ain't going to make any money, and I'm going to be another one of the ones they mock, and da-da-da. So now girls don't want to lose their job, right? So girls didn't really disrespect me, but when you're talking about them being jealous, yeah. But I was about to say, one of the best things about living with multiple women, this is actually the best thing about it. The best thing about living with multiple women is that all the girl shit, they do together. So your girl, right now if you have a girlfriend, she has a group of friends. All of those friends are your enemy. Every single thing they say to her is bad about you. He doesn't let you go out. Why is he asking where you are? Why is he calling you? It's only a boat party. Let's go here. They're all negative. You don't want your woman talking to them.
That's true.
Now, if you're fucking the same 4 girls,
It's true.
if you're fucking the same 4 girls, then her friendship circle are all behaving and all you're positive towards you now. So you don't have that negative influence, which means you get to send her away with her friends all the time. If you have a girlfriend, you don't want to send her away with her friends because they're up to bad shit. I love sending my girls away. Oh, you want your nails done? Go. Boom. Oh, you want to go see that shit movie? Go to secure. oh, you want to go? Go. Leave me the fuck alone. Go. You want to go IKEA? We need towels? Cool. Go to IKEA. I didn't have to do none of the dumb shit men have to do. I see men doing all this dumb shit with their chick because they don't want her to do it with their friends. Man,